Okay. Great. So welcome to Monash. So thanks for coming onto campus for enrolment. I'm Vanessa Wong. I'm the course coordinator for the Bachelor of Science Advanced Research course. So I'd also like to acknowledge all the students who are listening online. I think there's a few of you guys who are logged in, and this session will also be recorded. So if you need to go back to it, that's fine. That's fine too. Congratulations. I know you've all worked really hard to get here, and it's pretty exciting. And I'm really excited as well. And you deserve all the opportunities that are available to you for this course. So science at Monash has undergone a whole lot of changes in the last few years. So it's a really exciting time to be here, and we've got some fantastic new teaching and learning spaces, and lots of new labs that you'll be working in as well. So our teaching is really focused on getting the best out of you guys. Ooh, interesting. After I'm telling you all about our new stuff. So what I'm going to do today is give you a bit of an introduction to the Bachelor of Science Advanced Research course and an overview of some of the main things that you need to know in order to enrol and in terms of being familiar with your degree and your course. So to start off with, advanced research at Monash has a range of additional opportunities to what you would normally be offered through the straight Bachelor of Science course. So we have OCamp, and I'll talk a little bit about this in a little while, and a research facilities tour. So we'll give you a bit of a tour on some of our new research facilities or some of our state-of-the-art research laboratories. We have an academic and peer mentoring program which is open to first years, which you apply for, and you'll be given more information about that during O Week and also during your course. We also offer Research First summer research scholarships, and again, I'll talk a little bit more about this a little later on. A core part of your degree, of your course, is a research project, and that's usually completed in either second year or third year, depending on the major that you have enrolled in. We provide course flexibility and pre-approval for advanced units. So normally when you enrol, or you need to enrol in an advanced unit, or you want to enrol into a second year unit at first year level, you have to go through an approval process. So we provide you with pre-approval for some of those advanced units, so you don't have to go through go through all of the administration for that. Depending on which major you select and what school you're based in, you will also receive research seminar invitations. So you basically get to be involved and see what's happening in terms of the research that in your discipline firsthand. So this is cutting edge research, the latest research that's going on. You'll also have opportunities to apply for competitive travel grants and to be able to attend the International Conference for Undergraduate Research and also the Australian Conference for Undergraduate Research as well. And again, there's some really exciting research that's being done by undergraduates, and we've actually had a number of instances where these research projects have converted to publications. So this is really neat. You get your own hoodies. They're part of the Mass Cubed, part of the Mass Cubed, I guess, being part of the society. And Mass Cubed is a student club. We've got two representatives that they'll talk to you towards the end of this presentation. And Mass Cubed is a student society for the advanced science students. So it's both advanced research and advanced global challenges. You also have your own common room as well. So we have the Science Student Lounge, and then we have the Advanced Science Common Room as well, which is available to you guys. And you also have all of the other opportunities that are available to students who are enrolled in a straight Bachelor of Science. So that includes things like your industry placement programs, Science Future Leaders program, Monash ambassadors, so a whole host of opportunities which I strongly encourage you to have a look at and to get involved in. If there's something that you'd like to see, or if you'd like to if you've got more questions about it, come and see me. I'll be around after this presentation as well. So these pictures need to be updated actually. So these are some pictures from the OCamp and research tour, which was held back in 2017. We had one in 2018 as well. And like I said, we can provide you with a tour of some of our leading or our cutting edge research facilities. So this is an example of, let's have a look. So this here is our cave, Cave 2, which is our visual immersion complex. And we set up a range of different images, or put together a range of different images from a whole host of different disciplines. So I use it in my research to look at how soil structure changes. The engineers look at it to see changes at the very, very fine scale. And so there's a whole range of different applications for that visual immersion platform. And it's just generally a whole lot of fun, really. So you get to meet the other students in your cohort, and towards the end of the camp, we'll also head to the Treetops Adventure in the Dandenongs for a bit of fun as well. So just to give you a bit of an example of some of the research projects that have taken place. So this is Josh, who was an honours student, and he looked at a research project which looked at photoswitchable liquid crystals in ionic liquids. It was a project where, as an honours student, so as a fourth year student, he was able to work at the Australian synchrotron across the road. So this is an amazing piece of infrastructure, an amazing analytical facility, which is open to you guys to use. There's a lot of words there. So Megan completed a third year project. So this third year project is a core component of your degree. And with her project, she looked at nest choice and energetic expenditure in nesting green sea turtles. What that basically means was that she basically got to go to some pretty nice places up in northeastern Australia, so up in Queensland, to study nesting turtles. So got to see some pretty exciting stuff. Going back to some of the first year projects, in terms of the Research First projects, these are going on right now. So you could be in this position in 12 months' time, undertaking one of these research projects. So there's a whole host of research projects that you can become involved in, and the best thing about it is you get paid. So these come with a paid stipend of, can't quite remember. Do you?
I think it was 400, 500 a week. It changed. Oh no, for Research First it was about 400.
About 400 a week? Don't quote me on that, but you do get paid, which is excellent, because you get to then work in the area that you're really interested in, and you're receiving a stipend at the same time. So they're available across all of the different disciplines in science, and you apply for those towards the end of first year. So that's just a really quick and brief overview of what's happening, or in terms of the advantages of enrolling in an advanced research degree. So in terms of the nitty-gritty, in terms of enrolment itself, it's changed a little bit this year. So I'll just go through some of the steps in terms of what you actually do need to know in order to get yourself enrolled. So there's a number of tools available to you. So you've probably already started through the Get Started gateway. Is that right? Most of you guys have gone through some of that process. You may have already completed the first few of the 4 steps, and some of you may have completed all of the steps. So the idea of this gateway is to get you enrolled and correctly enrolled into your course and accept your offer of enrolment at Monash. So it's really important for you to accept that offer so that you can get enrolled in time and so that you can get enrolled in those units. So you haven't accepted your offer officially until you're enrolled in units for first year. So make sure you go through that enrolment process. At step 2, there is a link out to the science online course information, and we've created this content to give you a bit of an idea in terms of what each of the disciplines or what each of the schools offer in terms of first year and where these majors go. So these include videos from each of the schools, which again highlight what you're going to cover in those first year units. So let's see if this works. So this is probably what you've been come across and you're familiar with. So make sure you have a look at some of these videos as well. So this is the science enrolment information. So that's Chris Thompson, who's our Associate Dean in Education and also teaches in the first year chemistry courses. And then in each of these videos, each of the schools give you a bit of information about the disciplines and what you're going to cover in first year. So make sure you have a look at that. There we go. The other thing to keep in mind is that there is a handbook, and the handbook is updated every year and is basically the fountain of all truth. All of your course information, all of your unit information is contained in the handbook. So if there's any discrepancies or any questions about what you're doing, the majors, the disciplines, the units, you go back to the handbook and that will give you all of the information. It sets out the requirements for your course. It sets out the terminology and all of the units offered in terms of how you put together your units for your major sequence. So you need to make sure that you tick off all of the course requirements so that you can graduate at the end of the course, and so that you can also enter into honours to complete your course as well. So again, make sure you have a look at those course requirements. If you look at the handbook together with the science online course information, which is accessible in step 2 of your gateway, then it'll also help you understand the course and how to choose your units. So in terms of the terminology, there's probably a fair bit of terminology that I've been just throwing at you, and which probably is a little bit new. So in terms of what we put together and how we talk about the course structure, these are generally the main terms that we use. So when we're talking about units, the units are the subjects that you need to select. They're the building blocks of your course. Each unit is measured by a number of credit points. In science, they're all 6 credit point units. So that gives you, for us, it gives us a basis in which to compare the amount of time and the content that is covered between different universities as well. And when you decide to go on exchange, we can then compare like for like. But in science, all of the units are worth 6 credit points. In terms of the levels, we generally talk about levels, level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4. They're generally year levels. So level 1 refers generally to first year units. Level 2 refers to second year units and so on. In terms of majors and minors, a major is an approved combination of 8 science units in the same or closely related discipline, and you need to have completed at least a major to complete a science degree. And you do that over 3 years. A minor sequence is an approved combination of 4 units in the same or closely related discipline over the 2 years. Whereas an extended major is a combination of 12 science units. So in your course, you can complete 2 science major sequences an extended major and a minor sequence. You can, and I've seen students do this, but it means that you don't really have much elective space. You can also complete 2 majors and a minor, all in science, but it does mean that you need to forward plan quite a lot. So sequences are a defined collection of units, and the course, when we're talking about course requirements, that we're really referring to the rules of your course in order to reach graduation. So you need to complete all of the course requirements so that you can graduate. So in terms of what your course structure looks like, generally we've got units in year 1, year 2 and year 3. So you have three years worth of coursework, and then you have a fourth year honours project. You also have elective space. So generally in this degree you need to complete 3/4 of your degree, 3/4 of your units in first year in the science faculty, and then you have 1/4 of your units which can come from anywhere. This can also come from science, or it can come from another, another faculty as well. So, and then at 4th year you go into honours, which is essentially a full year of research. So in science, you need to complete 2 first-year sequences in different disciplines. So that means that potentially you could choose something in chemistry and something in physics, or you can choose something in biology and something in Earth, atmosphere and environment. They're usually, those are the ones that are usually paired together. So you also need to complete a core set of units in science which develops your skills in mathematics and in science communication. And you, in terms of the course structure, you need to complete at least 2 majors or an extended major and a minor sequence. So there's a whole list of units if you go into the handbook, and they can be quite confusing to select and to understand what they mean. So in terms of understanding what each of the course codes or each of the unit codes mean, generally it's a combination of letters and numbers. So with, for example, MTH 1020, the first 3 letters give you an idea or give you an indication of what school the unit is based in. So MTH units are based in the School of Mathematical Sciences. This first number here gives you an indication of the year level. So all of the units with a 1 in them, that start with a 1, are level 1 units, or the ones that start with a 2 are level 2 units, and so on. The 0 here at the end means that the unit is available in either semester. So it's available in either semester 1 or semester 2. So MTH 1020 is offered in both semester 1 and semester 2. For this one, CHM 1011, CHM means that the unit is offered through the School of Chemistry. The 1, it means that it's a first year unit, so a level 1 unit. And this last number here means that the unit is only available in semester 1. It's not available in semester 2. You can only take this unit in semester 1. So if you go into the handbook, you'll also find that we offer a range of majors. So you'll need to go into the handbook to look at the majors in order to select your first year sequence. So I suggest that you look at look at the handbook, look at all the disciplines that we offer, and also consider some of the disciplines that you may not have explored yet at school, because a lot of these disciplines you don't actually have access to while you're at school. I also would like to encourage you to talk to some of the lecturers who are available after this session as well. So you'll be able to talk to lecturers in each of these specific disciplines and ask some questions about course requirements, major requirements, and what each of the units cover, and where each of these disciplines may head to. When you're enrolling in units, you'll also be prompted to nominate the majors that you want to complete. Keep in mind when you nominate this is completely flexible. So you have to put in something in that field, but you can change that at any point in time. In first year, then sort of gets a little bit less flexible as you go on. So I would actually suggest select what you think you're going to major in, and then think about where you want to go if you're unsure. You can change your mind. You can also change your mind in terms of the enrolment, in terms of the units that you enrol in. So you'll need to select the 4 units in semester 1, 4 units in semester 2. But there's opportunity to change those units. You're not locked into those units in the first for the first couple of weeks of semester. If you do change your mind in terms of the major, you'll also need to log into WES and make sure you update your major nomination. So in terms of choosing your units, a lot of students already have an idea in terms of where they're going to go all the way to the end of their degree. A lot of students don't. So in terms of what you enrol in, as I said, each course is made up of a number of units. There's a number of compulsory ones and ones that you can choose from. So at a minimum, you need to complete 2 level 1 sequences and a level 1 maths or stats unit. So if you look at this figure here, so this would represent semester 1, this would represent semester 2. So you have 3 units shown here. One of them is your maths or stats unit, and then you have 2 level 1 sequences. In that space, you also have a series of electives. Those electives can come from, as I said, science, or they can come from other parts of the university. You must complete a minimum of 5 science units at level 1. So you can accelerate through, but you need a minimum, an absolute minimum of 5 first year units. If you'd like to take level 2 units, come and have a chat to me, because there is scope to enrol in second year units at first year in some disciplines. So this is actually quite important in terms of how you choose your units, because each of these colours sort of represent your major sequence or your minor sequence. So, for example, this green here would then lead to 2 level 2 units, and then 3 level 3 units. In this part here, you can either select units which complement that level 1 sequence, or it can be another a second science major. So this other core unit here, this is your science communication unit. So there are 2 core units that you need to complete in this degree. One is your maths or stats unit. This can also be included in your maths first year major sequence. So if you're choosing to major in maths, mathematics, or one of the mathematics disciplines, then this counts towards that level 1 sequence. This core unit is science communication unit. You can take that unit at first year level as well, if you want, in this degree. So with these, when I've been talking about selecting 2 level 1 science sequences, they need to come from different areas. So you need to select 1 first year sequence from one of these schools, and a second first year sequence from a different area. So they include biological sciences and the different majors they offer in there: chemistry, computational science, earth, atmosphere and environment, geographical science, maths and statistics, and there's a number of different majors in there: physics and psychology. As I said, you need at least 1 level 1 maths or stats unit. This can be replaced potentially with a second year unit if you choose. So again, come and see me if you've got questions about this. So just to give you a bit of a quick rundown with the maths units, STA 1010 is a statistics unit. It's statistical methods for science, and is normally recommended for students who are planning on studying areas where experimental design and data analysis is particularly important. So a lot of the biological science disciplines use a lot of experimental work and data analysis. MTH 1020 requires students to have studied maths methods at VCE level, and 1030 requires students to have studied VCE specialist maths with a score of 30 or higher or equivalent, or you can enrol in 1030 after you've completed 1020. So just have a look at the prerequisites for some of the maths units as well. For your course requirements, you need to complete two science majors or an extended major and a minor sequence in different science disciplines. As I said, there's a science communication unit, and that's SCI 2015, which you're allowed to do at first year if that fits in with your plans. You need to complete one level 3 research project unit, which is relevant to your major. Again, some schools offer a second year research project as well. So physics, astronomy and astrophysics and chemistry also offer second year projects. And you need to complete 48 points of honours study, so that's your 4th year research component. You need to maintain a high performance, so you need to maintain an average of 70% across all science units in each academic year. Otherwise, you'll be transferred into a straight Bachelor of Science. Although obviously we encourage you to aim a lot higher as well. For a full-time enrolment, and this course is only offered full-time, you need to complete 4 units per semester, and that's 8 units per year. In very special circumstances, we may waive that for part-time enrolment, but this course is generally only offered for full-time study. So in terms of what your first year could look like, this is, I guess, one of these course maps. So it could look like something like this. So you have your level 1 in first year sequence in one area, another first year sequence in another area. You have your maths or stats unit, and then an elective. So what that potentially could look like is something like this. So you have potentially a first year sequence in biology. You have a first year sequence in chemistry. So your Bio 1011 is your first semester unit. Bio 1022 is your second semester unit. You complete your stats unit in first semester. We have a range of science faculty units which is available to all science students. So one example is SCI 1300, which is it's a climate change unit, and you could potentially look at additional science units in that elective space. So you could potentially look at an Earth, Atmosphere and Environment unit in that fourth, in terms of the 4th unit that you enrol in, or it could be an elective from outside the science faculty. There are a lot of units that you can select at first year. So again, have a look at the handbook. Actually, just to say a little bit more about this particular setup. So if you take these units that are listed here, that also that opens up all of the majors in biological science, in chemistry, all of the biomedical science majors, and majors in the earth sciences and environmental science as well. So that sort of structure in first year opens up several majors. which you can then start to narrow down on when you continue on in your degree. So for another example is a combination of physics. So there's a range of physics units at first year depending on what you've completed at VCE level. You also have these maths units which also count towards your maths requirement, which opens up this space, and you can potentially take units from FIT units, which is from the Faculty of IT. So if you're interested in IT, there are units that are available to science students. And then in this space, this is an astrophysics first year sequence. So this particular course plan can cover you down the track for majors in physics, astrophysics, mathematics, statistics and computational science. So it opens up a range of different majors if you look at something set up like that. So in terms of electives, I've spoken a little bit about this. You can choose electives in science, or you can choose a range of non-science electives at first year. However, there are some restrictions in terms of your electives. In the Faculty of Arts, you can enrol via the online system, via WES, if you meet the prerequisites. Some language units, and there are a number of students who take languages through arts, may require a test or a demonstration of competency. In engineering, if there's space in the units, you can enrol in ENG coded units during O week via WES. You're restricted to units that do not cover maths, chemistry or physics because you need to enrol in those via science and not via engineering. In business and in the Faculty of Business and Economics, you can enrol if you meet the prerequisites. The prerequisites will be listed in the handbook, and some of them also have co-requisites. So co-requisites means that you need to complete 2 units together at the same time. Some of the units in business and economics require maths prerequisites, so for example VCE methods or specialist maths, particularly for accounting, banking and finance, economics and econometrics units as well. There's a list of approved electives through the Faculty of Education. In the Faculty of IT, you can enrol online. In medicine, you're not allowed to enrol in any units that are coded BMS or MED because they're only available to biomedical units, biomedical science students and medicine students. Also keep in mind in terms of psychology units, so these are coded PSY. They're considered science units as well as biomedical science units, so they sit in both faculties. And finally, in the Faculty of Law, you're not allowed to enrol in any of them. So, so just ignore those units. And again, ask questions if you're not sure. You'll also walk around with something like this for about 4 years, and so this is your course map, and it sets up your progression through your degree, and it lists all of the where each of the units lead to in terms of your major sequence and the course and the core units as well. So any of the science Faculty of Science student advisors will set you up with something like this, so that you have a course plan, a course progression map, so that you understand where you are in your degree, particularly if you start changing your units at second year and changing your major sequences. There are ways that you can shuffle things around. So make sure you have a course map to plan your course and to check that it fits within any of the majors and your course structure. If you have completed other units at tertiary level, they can also be counted towards your degree, and it reduces the number of units that are required to complete your course. So you need, in order to apply for credit, you need to complete the online credit application as soon as possible, and you need to also upload the unit outlines, the academic transcript, and any documentation which shows the structure of the course that you studied, so that we can assess whether it's equivalent to what we offer at Monash. So before, this will take a little bit of time to come through. So before that comes through, you still need to enrol in 4 level 1 units per semester. So that means if you're applying for accreditation for a first year unit that you may have completed at BCE level, just enrol in the 4 units, and then you can make a change later on once your credit application comes through and it gets approved. And once you sort of complete first year, there's a whole range of options at second and third year, including things like industry experience, internship units. So you can actually work, or you can apply for an internship and have that counted as credit towards your course. There are a range of projects and skills units that the Faculty of Science offers. So that includes an industry project, or building your employability skills with a unit along the lines of a science schools project. So you work with educators or in education. There's also another, a third year unit, which is called Career Skills for Scientists, which I strongly recommend having a look at. It's actually really, really useful. And we also offer study abroad. So study abroad means that you can either apply to go on exchange to other universities around the world, or you can also apply for exchange at some of the other campuses that we have. So we have a campus in Malaysia and a campus in South Africa. We also have a campus in Prato in Italy, and you can actually go over for the summer and enrol in one of those units. And there's also the fourth year research project as well, which I've spoken about. So, what next? After this presentation, I strongly recommend you go to the Science Studies Expo in the Science Learning Lounge. Again, that's a science lounge for science students. There's a range of teaching staff who are there, who are available to answer any questions that you have about units and majors. You also have the option to talk to a science course advisor, and again, if you've got questions, you just need to walk across, literally just across the pathway, and that's where the science... Sorry? Oh, yep. Will you be in the science student?
I will be,
yep.
But if you have like good questions...
Yep. Yeah, or they'll be in the science student services after the expo. So in terms of the next steps with enrolment, go back to the Get Started gateway and continue with the steps to enrol. You need to enrol in units before the 30th of January, so make sure you do that. Don't forget the science tools, including the videos which are available to you in step 2 of the gateway to learn about what each of the different schools do. And this will also help you in terms of choosing your units. And you need to complete your Allocate Plus preferences for your timetable by 10 a.m. on the 29th of January. So what that means is it provides you with a range of preferences for classes, like your lab classes, your lectures, your workshops. So your preferences need to go in by 10 a.m. on the 29th of January. And you also need to apply for your student ID via WES as soon as possible, because this is basically how you get around Monash in terms of access and access to things like the student lounge, amongst other things. Something to keep in mind is that you can change your enrolment in semester 1 units up to the second week of semester 1. And you can change your semester 2 units up to the second week of semester 2. So you're not locked in as soon as the classes start. Don't forget that O Week starts on the 25th of February. We strongly recommend that you attend science orientation, which starts at 9:45 on the 25th, and you sign up by your orientation planner. We also offer OCAMP, and again, this is strongly recommended for advanced research students, and it basically gives you an opportunity to meet your cohort before classes start, because the classes can be quite large, and it's just really useful to meet other people in your course and some of the other senior students as well. So there's a research facilities tour, which I've spoken a little bit about. There is a commencement dinner with some academic staff. And there's a whole lot of fun as well, which these guys are going to talk a little bit about and have organised. You need to keep an eye out for the invitation by email, and you have to RSVP to this. And it doesn't cost you anything, so the Faculty of Science will cover the cost of the camp. I'll also be there for the full 3 days, so you'll get to meet the other committee members in the society, so you'll meet senior students, and you can ask me any questions or anything you like during the camp. And something to keep in mind is the semester starts on the 4th of March, so it starts immediately after, the week immediately after O Week. So once you've accepted your offer, so you've enrolled in your units, we'll be inviting you to OCamp, so keep an eye out in terms of the invitation coming to your email. Check your email. So that's the address you told VTAC to contact you with. If you're coming to OCamp, please let us know if you have any dietary preferences, access requirements, anything we need to know to make the camp work for you. So if you've got any special needs, any questions, anything like that, just please let us know. After next week, or after you enrol, we'll start to use your Monash student email. And this is the way that we will communicate to you in all instances. So keep an eye out and make sure you regularly check your student email. And we'll also put in the order for your hoodies. So again, look at your email and order your size. And just to finish up, if you have any questions at all during semester, you can go chat to one of the course advisors at Science Student Services, which is located at 19 Rainforest Walk. You can talk to me, so just email me, make an appointment, and I'm more than happy to chat with you about your course, about your direction, about research units, placement opportunities, or just to check in. There is also a Facebook site, so have a look at the Facebook site. There's also a newsletter as well. So sign up for the newsletter so you can keep abreast of what's happening for science students and also any opportunities that are available to you. So I'm going to invite Sean and Maddie to come have a chat about Maths Cubed.
No, we'll just yell.
Yeah, but I mean, small
It's getting recorded.
Oh, okay.
Well, hello, welcome everyone, and congratulations for getting into the course. It's a really good course. I'm Maddie, I'm the president of Maths Cubed, and
I'm Sean, I'm the vice president. Just so we've been saying Maths Cubed without actually telling you what it stands for. It's the Monash Advanced Science and Science School Society. It's basically a science society for you guys in GC, which are across the whole. And yeah,
you don't have to memorize the name because I don't even know it. Basically, we're a really small club. We're not like your usual science clubs or anything like that. We are kind of more personal, more of a family. We do a lot of our things in the common room. So it's a really good space. You get to meet people in higher year levels and they help you out with any questions that you have. Here are some lovely photos. We've got new couches. We don't have those orange couches anymore. And basically we run events throughout the year. We're running an event soon, which we'll talk about later, and they're really fun events. Some of them are academically oriented, that's the word. Some of them are fun. We do karaoke nights and we do trivia nights, things like that. We'll be all having a trivia night on the OCamp.
We also run academic events. First semester we have what's called an academic mixer. We basically get